favorite segment of Philosopher News. I'm your host, Socrates. Now, to the weather. It is currently snowing outside with a high of 12 degrees. Today in our show, we will have a very special segment where our field reporter, Plato, will be asking some of our interviewees some of the greatest philosophical questions of all time. Now to our field reporter, Plato.
Thank you, Socrates. This is Plato, coming in live from Guad Hall. And today, we will be discussing what happens to the soul after death and are the body and soul connected. Here, we have our first person that we will be asking. Do you have a moment to talk about what happened?
No!
Thank you for your time. And what is your name?
Colin.
So, Colin, do you believe that the body and soul are connected?
Yes, I believe they are connected.
Interesting. And after death, what do you believe happens to the soul?
Well, personally, I believe that the soul goes to heaven.
Great. Well, thank you for your time, Colin. That was a great first interview. On to our next. Hello, sir. Do you have a moment to talk about the world's greatest philosophical question?
Yes.
Thank you for your time. And what is your name?
Nolan.
Nolan. Do you believe that the body and soul are connected?
Probably. I mean, it's just kind of how that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Good, good. And what happens to the soul after death?
I mean, the soul would probably move on to do something else, either be put somewhere else or just kind of float off into whatever happens after death.
Well, thank you for your time, Nolan. Hello. Do you have a moment to talk about the world's greatest philosophical question?
Of course.
What is your name?
Johnny M. Esquire.
Nice to meet you, Johnny.
Nice to meet you.
Now, do you think that the body and soul are connected or separate?
Body and soul are the same thing.
Okay. What happens to the soul after death?
Nothing, it's just a dark void.
Well, thank you for your time, Johnny. Well, it seems Johnny did not know what the heck he was talking about. Back to you in the studio, Socrates.
Thank you, Plato. I'm now joined in the studio with my good friend Simeon.
Thank you, Socrates. It's a pleasure to be here.
We definitely had some interesting responses from our interviewers today, wouldn't you think?
I'd say so. We had some very unique responses.
I think that that some of them are definitely true philosophers like us and are preparing to die. But I think that last interviewer was he's definitely not a philosopher like us.
He clearly has not been preparing to die. I don't think he even knows what philosophy is.
Nope. What did you think of some of their responses?
Well, I thought that most people thought that the body and soul are connected, which personally I think you can agree with me that that's wrong and that they get separated after death. And once those people die, they'll realize that the body was just a temptation for the soul, and that they get disconnected after death.
That is another segment of Philosopher News.
You good?